Hello guys, Tops here. Today I want to talk about the AXE Duelist. And as you know, I always test things out, I always reevaluate things. And today's video is about, I think the AXE Duelist kind of sucks. And let's start with the first problem. The first problem is it is very perk intensive, right? You swing a one-handed axe and you hit twice per turn for 10 fatigue with mastery. That means, especially if you throw Berserk in the mix, you will use a lot of fatigue. And you have to have a lot of fatigue to use this weapon properly. Like all the duelist weapons, they are quite fatigue intensive. The problem is, unlike the two-handers, if you only hit once per turn with the one-handed weapon, it's not good enough. So you kind of have to have recover, in order to restore your fatigue. It has the synergy with the Berserk combo. You can kill something, Berserk, and then recover to get your fatigue back. So there are already two additional perks compared to a two-hander that I need to have. I need to have Duelist and I need to have Recover. I can't really make this build fatigue neutral, doesn't really work in my mind. It's just, yeah. So already we have fatigue problems. And of course we still need high defense and high attack, like all the melee guys who go into combat, they need that. We still need high stats in hit points and fatigue, and resolve of course. This guy is a cultist, so even though I'm playing cultist, so that means I have a shit ton of additional stats from the being the chosen of Darkpool, right? I have all of these additional stats. Even then I find it kind of tricky to make axes work. Okay, so the specialty of the axe is you do additional damage on headshots. That's kind of the, inflicts additional 50% damage on a hit to the head. So you kind of want to play this with Headhunter if you can. But as you can see, you're already so staffed on perks. It's really hard to fit Headhunter in. So a lot of the times you can't do that. Headhunter boosts the damage output of this weapon dramatically. Yeah, so really hard. You can see the problem here, like there's so many perks that I want. I can't really, I kind of want to play with Pathfinder because I'm moving a lot, because I'm a one-handed weapon. I don't have a quick hand and a reach weapon, so I kind of need Pathfinder in order to get into places and to move into places, and I need Colossus, Brow, Battleforge, Underdog. I need the defensive purpose to stay alive, right? You can argue that you can go Nimble and skip Steel Brow. That's possible. Would also give you more fatigue. Yeah, anyways, I again, very, very perk intensive this builds and also very stat intensive. And what do you get for this? Well, we have a famed axe with additional damage. And we can already see the armor penetration is low. We have only 30%, with Duelist that's 55%. So already this is like very low, especially for a Duelist weapon, only 55%. But we have high base damage, that's very good. Okay, so let's see. Let's see in game how the AXE Duelist performs. And yeah, I have a bunch of mods installed. We're basically playing Legends at this point. I kind of want to show you the difference of output of the Duelist compared to others. Okay, so we go here now, and then we're gonna chill. I'm just gonna wait and see how much damage we do with our AXE Duelist compared to other weapons, right? And just remember, like the average AXE Duelist needs much more stats than my average frontliner, especially because of the fatigue requirements. So we are sanded now, so our damage is a little bit low. Yeah, okay, so this would have been a 2-shot if we wouldn't have been sanded. Sanded reduces our damage. There you can already see, even with the famed axe with additional damage, we did not one-shot the Nomad, who has fairly low armor. And just in comparison. Okay, it missed. Just in comparison. Here we go. Missed as well. Oh my god. Okay, so that's a two-handed flail. One hit. On a guy who has better armor. And that guy's almost dead. So on a high roll we would have just straight up killed this guy. Let's see if we can simulate that with an axe. That's a two-handed cleaver, by the way. I think also has additional damage. Like, this is actually the best comparison. Has the same action points, similar requirements, but I don't need the duelist perk in order to make this build work. And the damage is just not even close, look at that. 78 to 104. My famed one-handed AXE duelist has 47 to 62. Sucks. Just sucks. Kind of. Let's see. Okay, he killed him. Fine. Let's see how this goes. Okay, both of them got already hit. I want to have a fresh guy. Okay, let's see what the greatsword does. Nothing. Because we can't hit it. Famed hammer. Almost one shot. On a higher roll that would have been a one shot. Famed hammer. A very low, the lowest two-hander, right? The lowest base damage of a two-hander. Almost one shot. This thing, I'm pretty sure this thing one shots them. Okay, let's see. We are sanded again, so minus 25 damage. Minus 35, so we're gonna skip. I just want to show you guys the massive damage difference between all of these builds. Actually, let's have maybe not. Okay, prime example. I can't hit stuff. Excellent. Famed Badish, almost one shot. Despite splitting the damage. Famed two-handed sword and sanded. Okay, minus 35 damage. Oh, kind of crappy. Alright. Let's see. Again, famed two-handed hammer. While we are sanded. Almost one shot. Let's look at the axe. We know what the cleaver does. Okay, half HP. Kill, kill. Okay. So you can kind of see the massive damage difference. And by the way, we are fighting the best possible outcome for the cleaver duelist, right? We are fighting opponents that have low hit points and low to medium armor. So this is where the duelist shines the most. This like low to medium armor with low hit points. So all the human enemies is what the duelist likes to kill. And even in the best circumstances, this weapon did poorly compared to all of the other two-hander builds. And especially compared to the two-handed cleaver. So, I don't know. I'm basically spending more perks because I have to have recover and duelist. And I'm spending more stats. So basically I'm looking for a god bro that can afford to have more perks and more stats, and I make him into a weak damage build. Into a weaker damage build, right? The AXE duelist. And if I compare that to like the two-handed cleaver, the two-handed hammer, the maces, the sword lances, like these builds do so much more damage. And I have more perks free, so I can even stack the damage. And I can go for Headhunter and Executioner to further increase the damage. Or I can go for Fearsome or Reach Advantage or whatever. I have more freedom. I have more free perks. So why would I ever make an AXE duelist? I don't know. This is a kind of a long video, but I have come to the point that I don't really like the AXE duelists. Even with a famed one with additional damage. Kind of sucky. I don't like it. Alright, guys. I don't know if you find that helpful or not. And I would really like to hear from you in the comments what your thoughts are on the AXE Duelist build and your experiences, how you make that work. And please don't come with the argument, yeah, you can use the AXE, the orc axes. Realistically, you can't. Like, the amount of fatigue that you need to swing these things, even with the, I tried this, even with my chosens of Dafkul, right, who have additional fatigue recovery, it's just not happening. Like, it's just, I don't know, like the bro who can wield a one-handed orc axe, very unrealistic, very unrealistic. So, I don't know. I don't like this build, and I can't see a reason why you wouldn't just make this guy into a normal two-hander. Alright, guys. Again, tell me in the comments if you found a fix for this build or something like you like to do with the AXE Duelists. I would be very interested in that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Have a nice day. Bye bye.